latest now on the coronavirus emergency. This morning, the number of cases worldwide is topping 93,000. Meanwhile, here in the U.S., there are now at least 108 cases, and the death toll has climbed to 9 people. Whit Johnson has the very latest.
This morning, a massive effort to disinfect New York's public transportation system following the state's second confirmed patient with coronavirus, a case of suspected community spread. Officials calling the man in his 50s a regular commuter who took the train from Westchester County to Grand Central Station. The man who had a previous respiratory illness, now hospitalized in serious condition.
We're very concerned because of what appears to be previous respiratory condition, which creates more danger.
His family also under quarantine. 2 schools linked to one of his sons closed, and services at his synagogue canceled for the foreseeable future. This as COVID-19 continues to spread, with more than 100 cases across the country, at least 15 states affected. The death toll jumping to 9, all of those in Washington state. Most of the victims, vulnerable elderly patients at this nursing home.
They're not answering the phones. The lines are busy. All the families are really worried, not knowing if our loved ones are even alive, if they have the virus.
And we're learning a dozen firefighters and police officers who help patients at that Kirkland Life Care facility are now showing flu-like symptoms. Officials saying all have been put in isolation due to their potential exposure to the virus. In Seattle, retail giant Amazon confirming one of its employees tested positive with coronavirus. A spokesperson telling ABC News that employee is now in quarantine. Alaska Airlines washing and scrubbing planes amid growing concerns about safe travel in the outbreak. American college student Chloe Froning on her way home from Italy.
The guy asked me if I had been to Iran or China in the last 2 weeks. Interestingly, not Italy.
But on Tuesday, a glimmer of hope. More than 120 evacuees from the Diamond Princess cruise ship released from quarantine, symptom-free for a full 14 days. The head of the World Health Organization now says the global mortality rate of this new coronavirus is 3.4%. That's deadlier than the flu. Guys.
Okay, Whit, thanks very much.
This morning, Washington state remains the center of attention as the coronavirus spreads quickly. All of the deaths so far involve elderly patients or patients with underlying health issues, most linked to a Seattle area senior center. While in New York, experts warn the virus will spread there after a healthcare worker contracted the virus, likely during a trip to Iran. She's now quarantined at home and does not need hospital care. In Miami, the school district is already preparing 250,000 laptops and tablets for students to work from home in case schools are closed.
This is not the time for parents or teachers or students to be concerned with perfect attendance. If you're sick, don't come to school.
President Trump on Monday met with drug company CEOs.
When do you think you could have the vaccine?
Pushing them to quickly develop a vaccine while seeming to contradict a timeline offered by Dr. Anthony Fauci, the nation's top virus control expert.
Do you accept that this will take longer probably than you would like?
I don't know what the time will be. I don't think they know what the time will be. I've heard very quick numbers, a matter of months, and I've heard pretty much a year would be an outside number.
He's asking the question, when is it going to be deployable? And that is going to be at the earliest a year to a year and a half, no matter how fast you go.
Meanwhile, in Denver, no coronavirus cases yet at National Jewish Health. But over the weekend, someone came into the hospital and stole protective masks meant for doctors, nurses, and patients. With supplies running low nationwide, the hospital is now guarding its supply while it awaits another delivery.
There is a huge public frenzy right now for buying masks, and all of us in the healthcare world have urged the public to stop buying masks.
Okay, so Tom, we mentioned the high-fiving and the NBA going away for a bit. There's also a bit of discussion about handshaking and kissing as well. What's the word there?
Yeah. Listen, a lot of doctors are saying that it probably is a good idea right now to cut back on handshaking, on casual hugs and kisses and that kind of thing for now until this literally kind of spreads out and diminishes. And the bottom line on these masks, we've said it before, it's worth repeating, especially as that one hospital reported that somebody had come in and taken a bunch of masks. These are really not effective for you and me if we're out in an airport, for example, or in a public setting trying not to get sick. That's not what these are for. They're for you to prevent from spreading the disease yourself. If you have the flu or if you have coronavirus, you don't want to give it to somebody else. But